Hello everyone, I am Ella and today I'd like to answer the exercises about tax accounting. Okay, let's begin by the starter. And first, there are some types of tax in the boxes below, but some letters are missing. Can you complete the words? Well, let's answer. Number one is income, and then number two, sales. Number three, inheritance. Number four, corporate. And then number five, property. Number six, value added. And number seven is excise. Okay, and we'd like to skip number one because it's listening, and also I'd like to skip number two because it relates to listening. And let's continue to answer number five. Okay, this one. Okay, later in the meeting, the CEO asked more questions. Match them to the accountant's answer until G. Okay, number one, will this also be checked? Okay, so the answer is F. It should be. I'll ask the Jurgen to make sure it's done. Okay, next number two, could you just go over it again? And then the answer is E. Yes, of course. Let me try to explain it differently. And then number three, how is the profit calculated? The answer is D. It's basically income minus expense minus expenses. And then number four, how much is your fee? The answer is A, 600 euro per hour. And then number five, how often do they check? And the answer is C, every 3 months. And then number six, who'll handle the presentation? The answer is G, Susan. And the last number seven, how about if we send it next week? So the answer is B. I'm afraid it will be too late. Okay, let's continue to number six. Use the words from the box to complete the following conversation. Okay, Kathy. Hi Javier, how is it going? And then Javier answers, it's not easy, all this English. We didn't do any of this on my course. And Kathy asks, can I help? And then Javier answers, well, maybe you could clarify a couple of things. Let's see. Here we are. Provision for income taxes. What? What does that mean? Okay, and then Kathy says, okay, provision means putting money aside so that we have something to pay with later. So provision for income taxes is talking about the current year's tax expense which will have to be paid in the future. And then Javier asks, like provisional? And then Katie answers, not exactly. Provisional just means temporary, not final. Like a provisional budget, it's not the final version. And then Javier says, I see. And what about deferred income tax balances? What does deferred mean? And then Katie answers, basically, put off to another day. The income has been recognized, the counts, but tax owing on the income will only be realized in the future. Then Javier says, okay, how does that affect associated companies? And then Katie says, well, it depends. Associated companies and affiliates are a special case. Deferred taxes are not normally recognized on undistributed earnings, but only if the plan is to reinvest the profits. Okay, and then Javier says, so if we don't invest the profits, we pay tax. And then Kathy answers, exactly. Well, we also skip number seven because it's listening, and then we directly move to number eight. Match this expression with text to their definitions. Okay, number one, tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is a G, trying not to pay tax, but it's legal. And then number two, tax bracket. Tax bracket is F, tells you what amount of tax to pay based on income. Number three, tax evasion. Tax evasion is H, trying not to pay tax but it's illegal. And then number four, tax exempt. Tax exempt is a D, when you don't have to pay tax on certain income. And then number five, tax exile. The answer is A, someone who lives in another country for tax reasons. And then number six, to abolish tax is E, to cancel a tax. And then number seven, to impose tax is B, to introduce a new tax on something. And then number eight, to increase tax. To increase tax is C, to make the tax go up. Okay. Okay, number 8 is done. Let's continue to number 9. Use words from the box to fill in the gaps. Okay, number 9. The government needs more money, so it's planning to blah 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 taxes. It's planning to increase taxes. And then number 2, he earns a lot of money. He must be in the highest tax bracket. Number 3, she lives there because she has to. She is a tax exile. And then number 4, they are planning to abolish the tax on large company cars and replace it with a tax on all company cars. And then number 5, she is a student, so she is tax exempt. And then number 6, the government is planning to introduce new tax breaks for IT companies. Number 7, don't buy a house this year. The property taxes are being abolished next March. And then number 8, the last number, a tax return is the same as a tax declaration. It's a list of income and tax deductible expenditure for the tax authority. We skip number 10. And then we move to number 11. Okay, find words from the conversation which mean the following: to improve a machine or equipment. So the answer is to upgrade. Okay, number 2, written suggestion is submission. And the number 3, an opinion of what something means, that's interpretation. And the number 4, rules is regulation. And the number 5, to include as an asset, to capitalize. And the number 6, an explanation of what something means, its definition. Okay, we also skip number 12 because we have discussed it the last meeting. Yeah, so I think that's all about the exercises for tax accounting. Thank you very much for your attention, and if you have any questions or if I have answers wrong, you can directly correct me on the comment. Okay, thank you very much and see you again.